Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. I've been busy on the O scale since the last episode. And here's one of the things I've been working on. My eBay purchase that I got in just before Christmas. I kind of talked about it a little bit when I was making the first table, that I had put some wires to the wheels. I got it to spark and it moved a little bit. And then a pin for one of the side rods promptly came out. Well, today in Richmond, the weather is horrible. So I spent a little while this afternoon getting that pin put back in and snugged up. And I put that engine on the track. And this is how well it ran, with me doing nothing. So I didn't clean the wheels. I didn't do anything except turn the power pack on. The engine runs beautifully. I'm extremely happy with the little bit of money, and I mean little bit, that I spent to get it and some of the cars and some of the other things. So I'm having fun with it. And then as you noticed, both of my tracks for the staging area are now complete and operational. I've got everything wired up on the O scale. I've got my suitcase connectors in place. I've got wire management in place. Everything is in good shape. The only thing I still have to do any wiring on is the long track over there. And that will come after I figure out where the bridges are going to go, so that I can kind of get those made, put in place, get everything set and nailed down, and all that other good stuff. So that's a little bit later on. And then all of the other track, I did nail in place. So I've got it completely down. And you can see the little nail heads here. It's not going anywhere. So with this episode, what I'm going to do is I need to go to the hardware store and I need to get a hacksaw blade that's good for this track. And then I'll make a little jig so that I can cut the rails between the different table sections. So, these two rails here. I will make a cut over there as well, even though that's not permanent yet. I'll use joiners just so that I can put the tracks together until I make it permanent. And then I will do the same thing over on this side. I will cut the rails, cut that over there. Then this area with the two tracks will be electrically isolated, and I'll be able to use the toggles so that I can put two trains on here, one going each direction, and then just run one train at a time. And then when I'm tired, I'll just bring it into the siding and stop it and pull out the other one. The tracks work just like I had hoped. I've got my switches in. Train runs on the other track, real nice. And they're big enough to hold, the engine and a number of cars. So lots more to come, a lot more for me to do. But we'll see what kind of mischief I can get in here on this episode. More to come. So I just cleaned the track on the O scale and really pretty pleased. This right here is the extent of what I got off of the track. And I used the odorless mineral spirits, soaked the rag, not so that it was dripping, but just good and wet. Used a little block of wood and just ran it around the track. So got a little bit of stuff off, a little crud, which is what you wanted. Then I went in and I added the Noax ID, the special or A special. Put that on the tracks with my fingers just like I have before. And it seems like it's made a difference. The electrical pickup for the 10-wheeler is pretty good. And let's run it just a bit and I'll show you. There we go. So it's running pretty well. Notch it up just a hair. Now notice something as it's on this side of the layout. right, and then notice when it gets over to this side of the layout. What do you see in here? So it's subtle. But what I see is on that side of the layout, the engine, while not struggling, she's working a little bit harder to go on that section of track. And you know why? Because the garage has a pitch to it. So this is the high end of the garage. This is the low end of the garage. So I've actually got a grade going up on the side of the layout that's just there. The layout itself is perfectly flat. You know, each piece is exactly the same height. You know, everything works together. But the whole layout, you know, very exaggerated. It goes this direction. You know, I'd have to calculate it and see what it is. But, you know, it's probably a 1, maybe a 1.5% grade that 10-wheeler is working against going up, and then it goes just faster going down the grade. Kind of just a fun little fact. All right, I'm done with this. Now figure out what else I can get into here. I have my tracks electrically isolated. So I have come back in this afternoon and I have cut the rails, cut the cork, did the same thing over there. I temporarily tacked that track in place, and same thing over on this side. So I've got the track cut, both of those locations, and the same over there. Track is temporarily tacked in place until I figure out, you know, what I'm going to do for bridges and different things like that. Went out today to Lowe's and bought me a nice little saw. This one's got, what is it? Medium metal. It's like a 32, this is actually a 24 tooth per inch blade. Worked really well. I did buy another couple of them so that when I get to the ON30 and I have to do the same thing, that a little bit finer blade, this one has 32 teeth per inch. Should make for a nice smooth cut because the track's going to be finer. So let's bring her in and let's slow her down. There we go. And we will kill the block. Activate the other block, set my switches to the left and the right. There we go. So this will work. I'll be able to have trains going either direction coming out of this. I just have to remember to flip the directional switch on my power pack and away we go. All right, more to come. So I think the next thing that I'm going to do on this layout is take it apart. I'm going to disengage the electrical connections between the 3 pieces. I will take my connectors off and pull it apart and put it back together again, and then make sure it works and the track lines up. So I will do a time lapse on that. I'll get it all taken apart and then do a time lapse on putting it back together again and getting it to the point that I run trains. Well, everything came apart well. So first module, the center module, and then the left module. So now I will, actually, I'm going to charge the phone a little bit, and then I'll set these back up. It took me about 5 minutes to take it apart. I'm guessing it's going to take me just a little bit longer to put it together, but should go together pretty straightforward. And then the big test, see how the tracks align. So next piece will be that time lapse, and we'll see trains running, hopefully. Well, that first disassembly and then assembly went well. Connections aligned everything really good. Did not have to make any adjustments to get the tracks to line up again. Everything is running well. The electrical works. So I'm a happy camper. I've got a little bit more to do on the O-scale track. Got to put a little bit more cork right over there. You can kind of see it behind that F unit. And then I'm going to take that piece of plywood off, and I'm going to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get a couple of pieces of fairly thin plywood, as well as a couple of sheets of the pink foam board, so that I can start doing the ON30. Start to get the grades and the sub-road bed laid for it, and then start having fun. I think this is going to be it for this one. I've got everything accomplished that I was wanting to do this week on this particular layout. So get some more materials and then start looking at doing the ON30 layout. So keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.